A three-day media and broadcasting conference finished up in Sydney today, with presentations from a number of media executives. One of the major themes over the conference was the rise of online video. Pippa Leary, Managing Director of Media at Fairfax Digital, spoke about partnering with hardware manufacturers and TV companies.
We're probably less interested in set-top boxes and in hardware. We're really interested in creating the content and doing deals with the hardware owners so that we get distributed. And already, your Samsungs, your Sonys, people like that are knocking on the door. They're about to roll out their internet TVs. It's exactly the same with the iPhones. They come knocking to us first and say, "Oh, can we distribute you because you're a recognised brand?" And so that's the way we see that happening. We want to stay pretty firmly in, our comfort zone, which is filtering, understanding, that there's so much content out there. We filter it and we create a version of the world that people are comfortable with, and then that gets distributed on all these different devices and pieces of hardware. The brilliance of the deal with Channel 10 is that by taking their news content and putting it through our websites, they suddenly get exposed to that incredibly valuable Fairfax audience, and it's really, really helped them. And so, that's been a fantastic reaction. And those guys were really clever about dealing with us. They didn't see us as this huge threat. What they saw us as was a distribution platform, and that's what we, in many ways, think that we are. When all the video stuff started to happen, we were all internally panicking, thinking, "Oh my God, we don't have a TV station. We're going to get left out in the cold." And then it dawned on us, no, actually, we're like Switzerland. We can take as much different content as we want and expose a huge audience to it, and they'll pick what's good and what's not. And so that's been very liberating for us. And our attitude is, you know what, bring it on. We'll do deals with anybody right now.
Hugh Martin, General Manager of APN Online, said there was a need for news sites to differentiate themselves in the online video market.
The problem with spot news is that the day after or thereabouts, it's got nothing much more than novelty value. We really need to start thinking about how we can produce video content that has good shelf life, that can be used and reused and can provide a great environment for our clients' messages. Some of those sorts of things, particularly in regional markets, are going to be around travel pieces, are going to be about connecting with businesses, small businesses and niche industries, and doing well-produced pieces that tell a story and provide great consumer value, but also provide good commercial value too. I really think it depends on the scale of the operation. So in New Zealand, we have the dominant news brand online, and we have a significant in-house video team and a studio set up that is pretty similar to the sorts of things that you'd see in a major metro newsroom in Australia, and that works well. I think it does need to be supplemented and with partnerships and with syndicated material, but the core of the site's production comes from an in-house team. The difference is in our business in Australia is that we're a regional public publishing operation. And the scale just doesn't quite support the cost that you've really got to put into building a studio, providing the resources and the tools and the support for a team of either production or content producing audio visual people. So look, I really think it's just a pragmatic decision at this point. That may well change. I mean, I think one of the things that's kind of the journey that we've got to go on as publishers is what happens when more and more revenue is moving into online. You can't then just say we're always going to outsource. You do have to have a plan to do things internally. But where metro and national brands have got to that point in the regional markets, it hasn't quite happened yet.
Nick Evershed reporting for the NPA.